Hi, my name is Rishi Janakiraman, and I am the inaugural Youth Poet Laureate of North Carolina, as well as the South Regional Representative for the National Youth Poet Laureate Finals. To give a brief background about myself, I want to talk a little bit about my childhood. I grew up in the public library system in Cary, and I had this tradition in my local library where every week I would go in, and this one librarian, Mrs. Tracy, she would slide a book down the desk and into my hands, and I would read it, and I would end up loving, and I would end up loving those poems so much, or that fiction so much. And I think that small gesture that she did for me every week when I was probably around 7 or 8 was just so absolutely so formative to me, both as a writer and as a person, because I think that proximity itself is kind of the precondition to our connection to art and to the importance of art in the real world. It's a philosophy that I've kind of brought with me to my laureateship in general, and I hope to bring with me as I continue to contribute in the poetry community. Because, in my opinion, without that kind of proximity to the arts can't reach people. We can't have the joy of poetry or fiction or nonfiction without those institutions, those artistic third spaces that bring art to young people or bring art to people in general. I think that right now, especially in this current administration, we see so many attempts to kind of sever that link, to construct a distance between us and the arts, to construct a distance between those two things. We see things like IMLS budget cuts. We see things like art grants being revoked. We see things like book bans and the onslaught of them. And all of those things, what they're trying to do is they're trying to create that separation. And I think that as laureate, my responsibility is to bring us closer, to undo that distance in a way, because I think that my job as a laureate is to construct that proximity, the one that made me love poetry so much. So that would be my philosophy when it comes to my laureateship and what I hope to carry as I contribute in the future. But when it comes to why poetry itself is so important to me, I would say that whenever I'm reading poetry or fiction or any kind of literature, it's not just, I don't just come out of it as a better writer, but I also come out of it as a person with a better understanding of myself. We often say that literature makes us feel seen, and I think that's absolutely true, because we can watch some fiction or read a book or do something like that, and we see ourselves in the characters. If I read a poem, I can see myself in one of the lines. And I think that self-recognition and self-awareness is what literature offers us. It brings us not just to have a better understanding of the world, but also a better understanding of ourselves. The fact that we can see parts of ourselves in a novel or in a poem, and that can make us better people. I think that that's what literature offers, and I hope that in my laureateship, that's what I want to do. I want to have everyone experience that joy, the joy of interacting with poetry and the joy of coming out of it as a better and more actualized person. I think that that's what's really important to me as a person. So, thank you.